We are here with Justin Scott and Aiden Cimino in Toms River East's victory over Wall, and these guys were the players of the game. Scott with some big touchdowns and Cimino with some big plays on defense, shutting Wall down. How do you guys feel today after this win?
Well, we always win here, right?
Yeah, I felt like I just got superpowers, and I just rammed them over.
Yeah, you got your superpowers. That's awesome.
I am a bit from young kid from high school, graduating here to college.
Yeah?
And then we're up, roll up.
Awesome. That's awesome. You were running all over the field today. Looked awesome for Toms River East. Represent the Raiders really proudly. Congratulations on today's victory, guys.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys have before we head out?
Well, we are the winners.
You are the winners, yeah.
Yep. You know, victory, one winner and 42 losers. And yes, I eat losers for breakfast.
Oh, not me.
Good job, guys.
Thank you.
High five. High
This is the
five.
Shore
Thank
Sports
you.
Network with John Corelli and Scott Martin, as we are both on the ground today at RWJ Barnabas Field of Dreams in Toms River, New Jersey, for the first annual flag football game between Toms River East and the Wall Crimson Knights in their unified sports division, as Toms River East was able to take the 28-21 victory over Wall Crimson Knights. And you could just tell, I mean, besides, the whole game going on, you could tell with the atmosphere, the environment, everyone there. It was a beautiful, beautiful day. You couldn't have asked for a better day on this Thursday. So many people with bright, smiling faces all throughout, and it was just a wonderful experience for everybody. Scott, tell me what you kind of saw on the ground from everything going on.
Yeah, starting out, getting there, marching band playing, the sun shining, the fans going crazy, the cheerleaders, both schools, packed the house at the Field of Dreams, which is great to see for those athletes. But starting out in the game, Toms River East just jumped out to an immediate start off of Montes. He broke to the left side, he hooks back around, and he ends up getting up the sideline really fast. And on the opening play, takes it to the house, and he stuns the Knights. We talked to the fans briefly right after the play, and everybody was shocked that Montes had that in him to just start out so easily.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest things too that kind of brought the whole atmosphere and environment together. Was from that first play on, you could just tell that everybody was into it. Everybody was digging their heels into the beautiful turf at Field of Dreams. And you could just tell it was going to be a great day. You saw on both sides, Toms River East, all their players revved up, ready to go. The atmosphere had, a complete high school football feel to it. And that's another reason why I also feel like the players, shined on the field, is because it was all their moments to shine. And it was their time to really, bring in their glory for their team and, let them know who, Toms River was and who Wall was.
Definitely. And then following Montes' touchdown, Toms River East defense right out of the gate, led by middle linebacker Cimino. First play of the game on defense, he grabs that flag, and he just shut down Wall so easily. It seemed like this was just going to be a runaway game for Toms River East, led by Cimino on defense, and they're able to mix it up. So early on, Wall ended up trying to go with running back Ronnie, and they were doing that old school ground and pound, that old school smash mouth football. And what Wall said was, even though that East got out to it, they were going to come back because they were going to wear that defense down through their run game. And that showed because late in the first half, even though Wall was down, in comes Rachel. And Rachel was electric. Rachel had I believe it was 2 touchdowns in the first half. One of them as time was expiring in the first half. We had MVP chance for Rachel, the whole time. And going into half, when East was dominating the whole first half, they went in 14-14, and the momentum shifted to the Knights. It seemed like, okay, this is a real game now, and the Knights have a real shot. So, East had to regroup a little bit on their defense at halftime. Both teams got out there. They did the cha-cha slide, and they stayed loose. They stayed ready for the second half. And into the second half, Cologne comes in. He makes a nice run on a sweep. He did a little toe tap on the sideline to get a few extra yards. And then Montes kind of showed his versatility. He was the early touchdown on the run, but he was playing defense both. So he was playing both ways and making plays all around. So East fans seemed a little worried. But the difference maker in the second half was definitely Justin Scott. You saw those touchdown runs by Justin Scott where he just broke through and he flashed that speed. I caught up with Scott after the game, Justin Scott, and you could tell he's just a winner. Like he's used to winning. He plays for the Hawks, so he's a seasoned athlete on the field. And if he had to take them on his back, he was willing to do that, and he did. So Justin Scott came, he came alive. And then Marquez, too, on defense, as Cimino got worn down a little bit, Marquez stepped in. So I don't know what you saw on the defense with East in the second half, but, what's your take on some of that?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I took away from it, and, Cimino talked about it at the end of the game today, was that everybody seemed to have their own superpower. Everybody seemed to fill in and really, was able to step in one way or another, whether it was Tom's River East being able to slow down their run game late when, it was a one touchdown game and, their backs were against the wall and they really had to fight to get that win, or whether it was their offense and it was that ground and pound, or it was, just working as a team together and really bringing each other up to get across to the finish line. And I think that's the biggest thing from both programs is that, even though there was a winner in this match, everybody ended up a winner, and it just showed how talented everybody really is. I mean, Cimino was great on defense. Justin Scott was a man on a mission. Everybody cheering on Rachel with the MVP and Rachel. Everybody had a purpose of being there, and it truly showed. I mean, on all ends.
Yeah, so we have, Marquez with the late game touchdown for the Raiders. That put them up 28-21. Late in the game, down 28-21. So Steven takes the ball up the middle for Wall, and they're trying to make sure that they can keep that ground and pound there because that's kind of what worked for them. And then they took a big risk on a play. I can't remember who it was. We'd have to look back at the tape. Wall running back takes it. He kind of tries to loop back around, kind of runs backwards on the field. I could see his line of thinking. He was like, I'm going to get around this defense. And he almost did. He almost got around until that East defender was able to snag that flag, which gave them a big fourth and long. And what does Wall do? Wall comes in, and they say, you know what? We're going for this thing. They call the pass play, and they made the catch. He makes the catch. It just ends up being short of the first down, so East is able to take the ball and kind of run that clock out. So even though East came out on top, Wall definitely fought. And they were not going to give up or give in on this one, so Wall definitely has to hold their heads high on this game. They definitely showed their character out there on the field today.
Yeah, it's definitely a game that Wall's going to look back on and learn from. That's the biggest thing is that, all those kids on that Wall team know how big of winners they are. They know how talented they are as well. And, they're going to look at the little things that they did right, and they're going to improve on some of the things that they can improve on as a group. And that's the brilliance of this game is that they're going to be able to go back on the field, whether it be next week or next month against any opponent, and truly show who they are. And that is that hard-working, gridiron team that will go out against anybody and give their all. And like you said, Tom's River East came out with a victory on top, but Wall never backed down. Wall never stopped fighting, and it was always a very, very, very competitive game throughout.
Yeah, Wall definitely stick with their game plan of the run. They can just clean up a little bit of the communication on the field. I know the ref was getting some countdowns in there on that play clock, so they were having a little play clock challenges. But they clean up some of that, and that was go a different way, and they're victorious at the end of the day. So, and it was great after the game. Hearing from the organizers of the event and seeing just the complex in general. So it's a great complex. All those kids got to hang out after the game. Both teams, shaking hands and giving each other props. They get to go play on the playground, the whole thing. So it was just a great environment. Like you said, even though East came out victorious, it was definitely a win for both programs moving forward as the first annual flag football game between them. Like to see some more teams jump in and build out this league a little bit more because it's competitive out there. I mean, those kids, they showed up to play, and the students that came out from the school to support, and some of the staff that helped, and some of those student coaches from the football team, like they did a great job, and they're building something here. They're building a little bit of a tradition and a legacy at this Field of Dreams and this unified sports model. So I'm excited to see where some of these programs head to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, real quickly, it's another outlet for everybody to get involved. And, Christian, one of the co-founders, was talking about how, this wouldn't be there if it wasn't for his life. And it also shows that it's never just about one person's life. He saw, what impact on, his entire life something like this could have for everybody. And being able to have this Field of Dreams, being able to have this complex and have it get, notoriously recognized with, some of the Shore's best athletes, and getting an ample view on it. I think it's just fantastic. And I think today was a great step in the right direction, not just for the Field of Dreams and not just for unified sports, but I think Shore Conference sports as a whole as well.
100%. So I appreciate John coming on, both on the ground today. We got some highlights we'll throw up later. We got some pictures we'll throw up later. But yeah, it was great seeing you out there. A beautiful day, and excited for these kids. I think overall a successful day for unified sports.
Absolutely. It was a great day on the field.
All right, so signing off, this is Scott Martin and John Corelli with the Shore Sports Network. Check us out at shoresportsnetwork.com, and there'll be a write-up on this game as well.